AMD's Ryzen processor architecture is impressive. I'm aware that there's been some leaked Intel Core i9 Skylake X and Coffee Lake S CPU benchmarks recently released that have shown to be faster still, but AMD's Ryzen APU boasts greater overclocking potential, a more cost-effective price point, and its AM4 socket should be compatible with AMD motherboards up to 2020 and beyond. This is fantastic because Intel is very unforgiving when it comes to backward compatibility. The planned obsolescence after a couple of generations is rather painful. AMD, on the other hand, is becoming a more attractive option for custom builders who want to future-proof their systems for a few more years. The reason I bring this up is because this Acer Aspire A315-15 is the first laptop I've reviewed with a Ryzen processor. This is the Ryzen 3 2200U series. This machine was supplied to me by Harvey Norman. If you're in the Dublin area, check out their flagship store in Tala, Dublin. So let's run through the rest of the specs. It's got a 15.6-inch display, the AMD Radeon Vega mobile GPU, 8GB of RAM, a 1TB hard drive, a 2-cell lithium polymer battery, which should provide under 6 hours of runtime on moderate usage, and a fairly basic 0.3-megapixel webcam. This machine will set you back €599 and runs Windows 10 very well indeed. In case you're wondering, you won't find a touchscreen here. This machine is really aimed at users looking for a mid-level productivity PC, really suited towards the business market and college students on a budget, but also for consumers who want a machine for under the €1,000 mark, and this laptop fits that bill quite well. It's very much a desktop replacement PC given its size and of course its weight. This laptop is a little bit bulky, but then again maybe I've been spoiled recently by ultra portables. The first thing that hit me about this machine was the display. It's poor. It's an HD Acer Comfy View, but there's very little that's comfortable about this display. At just 1366 by 768, the screen resolution is quite low for a screen this size, and moreover, the viewing angles are not good. Colors and detail wash out very easily when viewed from anything other than dead center. Even for a machine at this price point, it should be better. General system performance is good, however. The Ryzen 3 2200U is a comparable processor to Intel's Core i3 7100U and is 20 can be increased to 3.4 GHz. It also includes simultaneous multi-threading, which means each core can handle 2 threads simultaneously. I will say that the Aspire 3 would benefit from the SSD option to help make system performance that little bit snappier. This particular machine that I was supplied for review came with a standard 1TB hard drive, so although it's nice to have additional storage, I would personally be willing to sacrifice that for a faster solid-state drive. Thankfully, unlike many laptops these days, upgradability is an option. Both the RAM and the hard drive can be upgraded, though you won't be able to squeeze in a second drive, just in case you're wondering. The noise level of the cooling fan is acceptable, noticeable for sure. I mean, look at the size of the rear vent, you can hardly be surprised. But the machine doesn't get loud or hot, which means the cooling management system gets a thumbs up from me. Speaking of volume, I'm happy enough with the speakers too. Audio from playing YouTube videos was generally pretty good. I/O is plentiful for such a multi-purpose laptop. 2 USB ports, LAN port, HDMI output, 1 USB 3 port, and a full-size SD card slot. The keyboard isn't great to type on. I found the keys to have that kind of unsatisfying feeling you get from a cheap plastic chassis. The build quality is decent, nothing outstanding, but I really appreciated that hinge system that allows the display to go all the way back. Overall, the Acer Aspire 3 model number 315-41 is everything you'd expect for the price. It's a mid-level workhorse that gets the job done. And thanks to its Ryzen 3 processor, it's the first AMD laptop I've reviewed in a very long time where I didn't miss having an Intel chip inside. So that's certainly a positive. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.